why did they steal? We dealt with, we want to look at why did they steal. The urge for power. Now, they have a desire for spiritual power, which is almost the same thing that is, going around, spreading around all places of worship. Spiritual power, desire for spiritual power. Even people who cannot read the Bible, people who cannot even, sing or pray, they need power. They just want to lay hand on people, they recover. They want to be able to tell people about their future and their past. They want to be a fortune teller, so they need power. They believe that when they took that priest and the idol, they have everybody's attention. So the Danites sought spiritual authority and guidance as they were looking to establish themselves in a new land. In Judges chapter 18, verse 5 to 6, this desire has spread across all places of worship. In one way or the other, people long for power, either directly or indirectly. This is to ensure that people within the jurisdiction became obedient to them through their powers in display. They said to him, please inquire of God to learn whether our journey will be successful. In Judges chapter 18, verse 5 to 6. This was the beginning of the attraction, what attracted them to the priest. Not even knowing whether he was an idol worshiper, they asked him, we are going to Lachish to survey the land. Will our journey be successful? I am going to marry a wife. Tell me if this is the woman God created for me. I am going for a job interview. Tell me if this job is my job. I am traveling. Please tell me whether I will return or this journey will be a safe one. This is the quest. This is the desire. This is the things that creep into people's mind. And then they are easily manipulated and taken. We have heard, in fact, Bishop talked about it on Sunday, people talking about their mother being a witch. Mother that conceived you, carried you, helped you to learn how to talk and walk. At the peak of your life, when you have become everything you want to become, is that the time she want to kill you? So this urge for power was what led to the Danite to steal. And in today also, the quest for power has led many into the wrong place. It has brought corrupt worship, diluted worship, polluted worship into the Christian fold. The second reason why they steal was the power of the accessibility or the ready available power. The ready available power. Now, the God of Israel, which is referred to as Yahweh, is not visible to any eyes. Is not touchable unless he appears or you have an encounter with him, like Abraham, like Moses, and Joshua saw a glimpse of the commander. And Paul also had a glimpse of it. We have also had many people in our days, in our time, who have had an encounter with this great God. But many of us find it difficult to relate with this God, especially in communication. We want somebody who can tell us something instantly. We want somebody who can do something in our life now. a drive-through kind of relationship. So worshiping Yahweh is, to them, it was like they don't really know what they are doing, because after the breakdown of law and order, everybody was doing what they like. And so the duty of teaching them the right way was long gone. So when they found something that is easily accessible, they don't want to wait for tomorrow. They need the answer now. They don't want to wait, pray and believe and hope. They want something. And this idol was easily available. And because the idol was easily available, they went for it. So the reason they stole or they steal is because the idol was visible. The idol was accessible. The idol was touchable. The idol was reachable. Many people, many of us who travel from over, who cross the sea over here, many do so with one thing from the shrine or the other. One handkerchief, one anointing oil, one black soap, one cowrie, as an encouragement, as a determining factor that will ease our journey or that will make life better for us. The Danaans were likely motivated by the fact that they found an easily accessible God than seeking to establish their own, which would take time to be identified with many people. Instead of investing time and resources in creating their own religious practice, they capitalized on what was already in existence. Many people don't want to build church. They want to go to a place that is already made. When you call for fund, for building fund, they remember Catholic Church is already built. That's when they know, oh, my grandfather, my mother is a Catholic. They don't want to invest. They go to a place where, a place that is already built. So whether that place is meant for them, whether that place is genuine, whether that place is corrupt, whether that place is polluted, they don't care. All they want is they don't want to invest. And because they don't want to invest, they end up taking what is diluted and polluted, corrupt worship. Number 3, unrooted faith. They have unrooted faith. Their faith was not rooted. They have no faith at all. The actions of the Danites reflect a superficial, and shallow faith of worship, which we can also identify with today. Many can dance, many can shout, many, can do everything, but at the sight of one temptation, we see people falling like a pack of cards, seeking help from where they never imagined, looking for anything at all. I just want this problem to go away. However you can do it, I don't care. They just want to get it rid. They want to get rid of it. The action of the Danites reflect a superficial, unrooted faith. By taking Michael idol and the priest, they demonstrate a willingness to compromise their faith, provided now God, provided it is church, provided there is a priest there. Not the Bible that they read there. Are they not reading Bible there? It's a corrupt worship. We are not supposed to identify with such. This can be related to the bold theme in the book of Judges, where Israelites often seek help from other gods. Imagine the first thing they do was to ask the priest, is our journey going to be successful? Number 4, uncontrolled ambition. Uncontrolled ambition. The Danites had an uncontrolled ambition. Their ambition for the land and the security. They believed that if they possess the land and the idol, which seems to be the power guiding the land, the power behind the fertility of the land, the power behind the success of the area, they will be able to secure the land. Leaving the idol with Micah simply means that he may be able to manipulate or invoke that idol to cause them to lose their already victory. That was one of the reasons they took the idol away. In Judges chapter 1 and 18 verse 1, we saw that the tribe of Dan was looking for an inheritance because they had not yet secured their portion in Israel, showing their desperation for establishment. They were desperate for establishment, and so they had an uncontrolled ambition. A young man that wants to make it sees his mate using doing human sacrifice. Why? Uncontrolled ambition. People use their own mother, their own parents, uncontrolled ambition. Some time ago in Enugu, we heard somebody using a priest, trying to use a priest for rituals. Uncontrolled ambition. They don't care. Whatever is called money, they just want the money, anyhow it comes. There was even an email that showed, whether it is true or not, I don't know. A lady was vomiting money, and people were looking at the woman and say, yes, bring more, bring more, bring more. These are uncontrolled ambition, and uncontrolled ambition has caused a lot of chaos. It has wrecked a nation, family apart, destroyed destinies, destroyed homes, tear marriage apart because of uncontrolled ambition. This was the problem the Danites had. They just want a place where they can establish. However they get it, it doesn't matter. Whoever helped them to achieve it, they don't care. But they just want to be like other people who are established, other people that have made it, other people driving big cars, other big boys and girls. They just want to be like them. And so morality is destroyed. Spirituality is destroyed because of uncontrolled ambition. Number 5 is the influence of the surrounding cultures. When we are surrounded by, culture that does not have the same principles or guidance with us, we stand the chance of being corrupted. The cultural context of the time involved widespread idol worship. Everybody was doing what they like. Everybody was doing what they like. Nobody was, bringing people into accountability. Nobody questioned anybody. And so it was a time of moral decay. The Danites may have been influenced by the practice of other nations and tribes, leading them to adopt and steal Micah. This is what, the other tribes are doing. This is what the other people are doing. So let's follow them. If it works for them, it will work for us, provided we get results. Now, we have seen why they did what they did. Let us take a quick step back to look at similarities. We want to compare this event with our present day church. We are going to highlight some few things, and then we would line them up with our present day worship. Similarities with today worship. Let's begin with personalized worship. Number one, personalized. Personalized worship. Personalized worship simply means something made to my taste, to my comfort, my way, my endurance, my tolerance, my assimilations, and my acceptance, how I want it. And I think there's another word for it, customize. You tell them how you want to do it. When you have money, you can go to any car dealer or builder and tell them how you want your car. You can tell your builder how you want your house to look like. You dictate for them. Personalized worship has become the order of the day. This is what Micah did. He has the money, so he built an idol. Instead of him going to a place of worship, he built an idol, set it up, hire a priest, personalize in his house. He doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want to bother to, waste time for any other to go a distance. Many modern believers seek personalized worship experience that resonate with their individual belief and preference. Personalized worship. Don't tell me what to wear. Don't tell me how to talk. Don't tell me what to do. Personalized worship. Michael has a personalized worship, and this is paramount in our service today, in our worship today. The day they don't sing the song we like, we don't dance. Personalize. Number two, the use of symbols. The use of symbols. They took certain things. They took the ephod. The ephod is a kind of a garment that the priest wear. And then the tarim is like a bead they throw on the ground in order to assess some certain things. And we also see the image, the golden image or the idol that was made. Many Christians today believes in symbols. Symbols. We believe in things like rosary. Those who attend the Catholic Church, the cross, the uniform. The question is, did Jesus ever taught on uniform? Where did we get this idea from? Maybe from the idol worshippers, the Olokun worshippers. They wear uniform. People hold the rosary on their hand 24/7, even if they don't read the Bible, provide they hold the rosary on their hand. Symbols. And so when the Danite took the idol into their place of worship in Shiloh, that symbol there alone create peace of mind to people, or create that awareness, that confidence that God was actually there. Somebody want to sleep, didn't pray, put Bible under his neck, under his pillow. Symbol. What do we do? Where did we get this from? This is what we have taken. We saw people do it. Somebody brought the idea and we buy it. We practice it. When the idol came, the presence of the priest convinced the entire city that this was a genuine worship without any form of question. Symbols. In many worship settings, symbols like cross, candles, uniform, and artwork are used to enhance the worship experience. How this can lead to, polluted worship about the line between meaningful symbolism and idolatry. And when people engage in this, they are easily manipulated. This is where you see people being initiated. They don't know they have been initiated. Number 3, we also saw that Micah hired a Levite. How does this apply to us today? Hiring of leaders and pastors is a very clear example, or is in line with what this man did. Pastors were supposed to be called, not hired. Pastors were not supposed to be hired. They were supposed to be called. Anywhere a pastor is hired, it becomes an illegitimate service. You can quote me anywhere. In Judges 18, Micah's choice to hire a Levite demonstrates his desire for authoritative spiritual guidance, even if it is outside the traditional system, even if it is outside the biblical or ordained system. The Levites, they were set apart by God. God, used Moses to set them apart. They were not hired. And if the pastors of today are taking the place of the Levite, why are they hired? A recent thing happened in Nigeria. A bishop was, let go because he was hired. If he was set apart, he would not be let go. He can only be sent forth. And what does this bring to us? It gives room for control and manipulation. I hire you. Do what I say, not what God says or what is right. This changed the setting from our church to my church. I hire you. It is my church. Recently, like I said, a pastor was fired. He confesses that there were certain doctrine, teaching, even though Jesus commanded us to do it, there were certain doctrine they were not permitted to teach. Why? They were hired. Because they were hired, they were given a specific assignment to do. There are areas they cannot go, even though Jesus said, go ye into the world and preach the gospel. When the gospel comes into being, when the question is about the gospel, there should be no restriction as to what you should not preach or what you should preach, especially if it is not the government that is against it. But to be from the helm of affair, simply, it is because of the term, the word hired, which is copied from, the event in Judges chapter 18. It is similar, rather, to event in Judges chapter 18. We stand up to pray to God. It is not offense. When we stand up to pray to God, it is not offense. When you sit down to pray to God, it is not offense. But what do you do to Daddy Gio? You don't stand up, you are in trouble. You don't lie down, you are in trouble. Where do we get this from? Number 4. diverse practice of worship. We have different, numerous practice of worship. We did say that the body of Christ is one. If the body of Christ is one, we should have one form of worship. One form of worship. But every churches have their own different way of doing their things. We take from one church, we remove from the other church, and then it becomes a doctrine. Just to make it a little bit different, so that when people come, they see some changes in it. This is what happened with the people of that night. Instead of making a universal place of worship, they brought in the idol to become a center place of worship. The blending of different styles of worship, traditional hymns with contemporary music, or the incorporation of various cultural practices, is becoming a corrupt pattern of worship. For example, the idol worshiper never change their menu. Before I left village, those people serving idol, their menu, when they are serving idol, they always use pounded yam and egusi soup. But it is only in Christian worship I see that some certain things fade off. Hymn is no longer needed. We wipe that out. They stick to one pattern. But Christianity, there were times we use hymns and change to modern contemporary worship. Who received that revelation that God doesn't want us to sing hymns again? Well, time factor, fine. But this is what we copy. Church A is doing it, Church B is doing it, and we have to do it. This is what is bringing corrupt worship. When you do not have a fundamental pattern or style that God has given you for a worship, we will always be here and there, everywhere, not moving forward. Idolatry and secular influence is number 5. Idolatry and secular influence. The creation of idol is a stark reminder of how quickly people can turn to a tangible representation instead of focusing on the unseen God. Idolatry and secular influence. There are many places of worship where gods are, idols are erected. It is what they want. It is what they have to do. And because this is what they want to do, they have all authority to do it. In an age of continuous changes, some argue that material possessions, source, and social media can become modern day idol. It can become modern day idol if it is not properly checked. The influence of media in our worship, it helps us to reach millions. There is no doubt about that. But there are also negative sides of it. Never like before has ministers been criticized, opposed, disrespected, if not for the media. Never. As good as it is, so also is the negative side of it. Fragmentation of worship is number 6. Fragmentation of worship. Some people will call it mushroom. Kwe, 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 kwe. 2 people here, 5 people there, 3 people there. Fragmentation. And the reason for this fragmentation of worship is because of greed. I don't want to be under anybody. The Danites don't want to be under anybody, so they set up their own God. I have enough knowledge. Let me be a leader. Let me be the head. Let people come and follow me. It is good. We are spreading the gospel, but we can still spread the same gospel under one umbrella rather than having fragmentation, divided, bodies or churches everywhere. If we are preaching the same message, we can be under the same umbrella and we can still achieve what we want to achieve. By the grace of God, you don't have to have 50,000 people before you can say, well, oh, let's start a church. There are pastors of 5 members, five people. There are pastors of 10 people. Fragmentation does not lead to growth. Fragmentation brings, disunity. It takes away unity from us. I am Anglican. I am a Methodist. I'm Presbyterian. I'm Pentecostal. Though we share the same faith, but we never fight for the same glory. We watch each other fall. We watch each other disgrace. We watch each other neglect. Now, how do we copy all this as a roundup? It is very simple. I have about 8 things I would have thought about, but I'm just going to sum it into one. The Danites went into Lachish. They saw and they copy. They saw, they like, they took. This is how we took ideas and idols. We came over to Canada. We seized the way they live in Canada, the way they do things. How wife beat their husband. And then we copy. We begin to beat our husband. We see how people are manipulating each other. We copy. The Danites see and they took. They brought it home. So every corrupt worship is not what we were born with, it's what we saw and what we took and what we implemented. This is how this whole thing began. Can we correct this? Yes. How? All the guitars are not good. It is not how far, but how well. Don't follow the crowd. Follow the voice of God. The way that lead to life is narrow. Few are they that can find it. But the way that lead to destruction is wide, and many are they that find it. If we want to sanctify our worship, Humble yourself under your leader. Don't be too ambitious. Avoid complaining. Avoid imitation. And when you do this, God will rain his blessings and shower his blessings upon us. I will stop here for today.